Okay, so I'm finishing up deleting the parts that are on this last page. You can see there are some different things on here, and hopefully as you've deconstructed your particular style or theme that you chose, you've been able to learn a little bit about how things are put together, this being an image box, and then you've got several other pictures down here. These would be actual links. They aren't automatically generated menus like what we see at the top. You see that in a couple of them. If you've got an entire section where you could put elements and build it in here, you can keep that to use, or maybe you don't want that many of them, and the whole section can be deleted as well. So you can see I've got a few more left on this one. Spacers, if you're not aware of those already, they can be used to position the stuff that you want on the screen. So you can see it makes a big difference how big that is as to where my text is. So you can see they were very carefully placing that so that you could read it in between the two fins. Let me just finish up deleting some of these things. Okay. So let's finish deleting these things. Finding them sometimes can be a little tricky. It's best to start with a nice clean one. Delete that section. So there's elements and here's the header. So let's talk about editing this background by replacing the image. So I'd like there to be no original images on here, and if we're going to upload a picture, it should be from your final images. So here's a nice one from Greece, and at least then you're not using one of these often seen pictures here. So this right here can be well, let's take a look. So if we say save, we've got that right there. But let's say we wanted to make that a little better for text as a background. There are some ways of editing that. So let's edit that background, and you can zoom in. If it's a very large picture, then you might have some zooming ability and even drag and place it. You can also do things like blur it. You don't want to blur it too much, or it can be messy, but this right here would make a slightly better background to put text on top of. You can also darken it. So if you have light text that you're going to put and center it right there, then it would look a lot better. There are some filters that I don't do too much with either, but let me go ahead and save that. And then this is about. So let's say I wanted this to be for a different page. I'll do my about a little bit later. But you're going to have home, about, and all about me in between there. It's pretty easy to go ahead and change this to all about me. And I can even make a copy of it so that this one now I can put back and be about. So now I've got two identical pages, all about me and about. This is where we would want to put in our text. So let me go ahead and drag a text box, or maybe a title, to go right in there. This is all about me. Now, if you do want a different font for your titles right there, then you can go to your theme and you can change the font for titles. There's site titles, headlines, I think is this one. So I could try a different font, something that I like a little better. And then this is where we're going to put some elements. So let's start off by putting a text box. Say something like, this is our first project in 6th grade exploring multimedia. And you could put things in there like how we started, what your pictures are, which software we used, where you got the pictures from, how you had to keep track of the URLs. The text that you add to go with these pages is what makes them truly interesting. I'm just going to show you two of the main things that we can do. You can add a gallery and upload the images from the computer. So if you have a gallery, you can actually shift click on the last one as well, or you can zoom down and then click and drag and select all of those pictures. So that was 24. I think that's a mix of my pictures and somebody else's, but it will upload all of them and then be a gallery. So a gallery shows all of the pictures at the same time. And so if you have a whole bunch of them, you're probably better off doing a slideshow. So while that one is uploading, I'm going to go underneath and show you a slideshow. There's simple ones. There's ones with thumbnails on the side, on the top, on the bottom. They could be numbered. This has been important for some of our lessons, so you could follow an outline, so which picture goes with which description. But you're welcome to try some of these different ones. And we'll try uploading these pictures there as well, so you can see the difference between the two. So if you don't have those pictures, then of course they're available to you here in your turn-in folder. So if I look on here for my drive, my 8th period turn-in folder, here's my video project folder with a final images folder. Rather than going in here and downloading each of them one at a time, you can right-click on the final images folder, download it all at once, and then once it's downloaded, copy the final images folder from inside the zip file to the outside, usually in pictures. And then you'll have the materials that you need to put them on the Weebly page here. So whenever this comes up, just saying no thanks. You can actually put captions. You can make each button a link to somewhere else. So you could actually put the links to the original ones on the web. That would be a pretty cool thing to do for your slideshow. You can also take these and move them, rearrange them if you need to. Lots of different possibilities there. No thanks. So it's still uploading that. So there's my zip file. Just a reminder how that works. Right-click on Final Images, maybe go to Pictures, and then right-click and paste. And you'll have a copy of all of your images on the local computer. So you can upload them the same way that I just did. When you're next door, not on your own computer, you still have access to all of your stuff. One last thing then. So that was a gallery. This is a slideshow. You can click play and it will actually go through and play it. You can change transitions, how fast it changes, where the captions are going to go. People can then click on individual ones if they want to see that one. So last thing that you would explain, then we made this video using Adobe Premiere and uploaded it to YouTube. We'll just look down here under Media and you can put YouTube underneath. And of course you'll need that link. So a matter of going to YouTube, getting the link, and then coming back and popping it right in there. So if I go to my YouTube, I'll just get one of my videos. So find one of your videos, look for the share button. Here it is on this one. Get that little link, go back to Weebly. Oops. And look for this. You click on it, put the URL in there, and then click away. And now your video will show up right there. Now it's good to remember that you can take these text boxes and you can actually move them over to the side, and now the gallery will be on one side and your description could be right over here. It's a very long gallery, so not sure this font could be super huge if you wanted to. Let me try and move it down here to the side of the slideshow, and that makes a little more sense because this would be the slideshow and it would change and the writing for it could be over on the side. You can even adjust this so your slideshow gets to be a little bit larger and then your text would be a very narrow column. Same thing down here. You can put this next to a YouTube video. Adjust how much space is given to the text and how much is given to the video. And let's hit publish and take a look at what this actually looks like. So this is the very first page. Looks like I have to click on the menu to get to All About Me. And then this is what I've got so far. I don't want just a bunch of pictures. I really want you to write some things about the projects. What was your experience? What would you do differently? There you go.